presenting this visual interaction or this visual interface for people with regard to music, opposed to the music and the words on the beat being what is paid attention to. Because through the visuals is how they brainwash people. And once they begin to not listen to the music, just watch the video, right? Like if you ask anybody, what was the song during the World Cup that they used to play over and over again?
Oh, I hate it. I don't even like it.
What song?
Canaanland song.
Canaanland, the flag song.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Because he's from Africa, right?
Wave the flag song. So he's from Somalia.
Yeah.
And the World Cup was in South Africa. Right? And the Wave the Flag song was created for Haiti. That's what the song was created for.
He wrote it for Haiti?
Yeah, the song was created in order to raise money for Haiti.
Like We Are the World.
Right. Yeah. So how come this song that was supposed to be for Haiti, they're now jacking that current for all these other corporate events that are happening? Because the World Cup is a corporate event. Right? Like all those are IMF-owned countries that's in that. But they're playing soccer for their country. Right? And all this has to do with hip-hop because the Canaan song was the song for the World Cup. Right? And the Canaan song is a hip-hop song. Because he's a hip-hop artist. So hip-hop's getting sucked on every angle from the corporate reaches. You watch a GMC commercial tonight, there's hip-hop in the background. You watch any car, guys driving this car, he's playing some hip-hop music and they're selling you a car. But they're not mentioning hip-hop. They're not credited hip-hop. McDonald's has hip-hop in their commercials. Why? Just because they want to have hip-hop in their country? No. Because that's the power of the music. They can use that. For positive or negative, but they can use that. And what we're doing today is giving people an understanding that what they see, not because somebody got an award for hip-hop album of the year means that that's hip-hop. And you can't even get twisted and think that that is. Because once you give it your attention, you just gave the beast your power. Because they're talking about playing stuff backwards and then it says that people are worshiping the devil and all this type of stuff. And these are like prominent people. These are like Jay-Z and Eminem and those people. Like their music, that you play it backwards, it's telling you some demonic stuff. Like, are they doing that just to do that? No, they're doing that because it's all about getting people's energy. It's all about controlling people. The best way to control people with music. Pied Piper, man, just sat on the roof and just right? Have the children dancing behind them into the mountain or whatever. Music. Right? So hip-hop decoding. This was from a lecture that we did on the Black Lot. And I used for one of the intros on my album. You're wearing an $80,000 chain. There's real thugs in the hood that'll get you for that easy. Because real gangsters do real things. For all you young MCs out there, understand the words that come out of your mouth are vessels of thought. And they have magnetic power to them. So if everything that comes out of your mouth is I'm a thug and I'm a gangster, come test me. Come test me, come test me. You're drawing that right to you, and real gangsters will come test you. And you don't want that. So you got to be careful of what comes out of your mouth. Because if you once you project it out, it's gonna come back to you. So if you're
claiming
projecting
I'm black.
out that I'm a black person and you want reparations because the white man did something, right? That's gonna come back to you. So the black man is really pale, so he's the European. And then the white man is really the person saying, I want reparations from the white man. So he's saying really to the ether that he wants reparations from himself, right? And that he's a pale person. And the ether's laughing at him. Because what are you talking about? But all right, you stay there and talk what you want to talk. Because I don't have to hear it. Right? These so-called rappers or MCs or whatever they want to call themselves that stand behind a mic and sing songs to people with regard to hip-hop, right? They don't care what comes out of their mouth. They'll put anything out of their mouth. And they'll do that because they got a check. And if they didn't get a check, they took a check. Right? You could just, all the videos that they're showing now, these guys are talking about, they sold their soul to the devil. And they're being demonic. And their videos are dark and there's no innovation anymore. There's this like repetitive record skipping concept of music that's coming out as far as hip hop music. Why is it like that? It's created to be like that. But they're saying that that's hip hop. People who don't listen to hip hop music wouldn't really take this serious. Right? When we start going back into like a lot of these old stuff that we have, like old tapes and stuff like that, or even on YouTube, going and listening to some of the songs that used to inspire you through high school or whatever the case is, you would clearly realize that, hold on a second, something's different. And it's not different in a good way. It's not different in a way that's going to benefit music. Because everybody has some type of connection to hip hop music. Like everybody. Country singers have some connection to hip hop music. Like ballet dancer has some type of connection to hip hop music. Because hip hop music is everywhere. It's in everything. Right? But it's a mocking of hip hop music. It's not, well, we're doing this because we respect it. We're doing this because, we can do this. We can take advantage of this thing. Right? I heard many, hip hop, say activists, people who fight for hip hop, say that the people who consider themselves the CEO or whatever of all these record companies and all these record labels, each one of them should be somebody who was in the foundation hip hop that actually did something. It can't just be some outsiders that's making the decision on, okay, well, this record, we're gonna sign this guy to a deal. When they weren't even involved in the conception of this thing, but they're the ones that are making the biggest decision with regard to where this thing's supposed to go. So whatever happened to the MCs, there's a golden age of hip hop. Yeah,
the same thing going on with the Caravannas with the hip hop. The people who formed the Caravannas, they're gone. They don't exist. These corporate outsiders have taken over.
Right. So how do the corporate outsiders take over? You gave it to them. right? Somebody has to give it up. Like somebody has to say, okay, well, I'm gonna push my portion to you because I know my portion is the biggest portion. And me giving you my portion, beast, would allow you to take over this whole thing and oust everybody else that's involved in it. Right? So when we look at this golden age between like 85, 86 and like 1995, right? This was an era where it was about innovation. It was about, you're not trying to come out with the same jacket that this guy came out with. Because that's copying. And you can't copy this. And you have to be original. You're not going to come out with a car to top this guy's video because that guy came out with a car already. So, okay, what kind of car you come with? Like, he already did the car. So you have to make another video. You can't be the guy behind the wheel driving the car riding in your video. Like, man did that. Come with something different. No, you can't be the guy with the guys on the stairs, and everybody's on the stairs, and you're not in there. You can't do that. And that was done a long time ago. But what they're doing is that's why everything's like retro right? Brothers got mohawks right now. Like mohawks isn't no new thing. Like mohawks been around. Mohawks been around since like we were like indigenous people with the axe and scalping Europeans and stuff like that. Because they were encroaching on our territory. Right?
So the mohawk would symbolize something?
Yeah, the mohawk symbolizes the
Just
indigenous culture.
Okay.
Because the first people with the mohawk was the Indians.
Or the Mohawk Indians. The Mohawk Indians.
And stuff like that.
The Mohawk
Yeah,
Indians.
when we were young watching the Bugs Marty cartoons and all this kind of stuff, there was movies like the Cowboys and Indians movie.
You know what?
Mohawks in that. Same mohawk that I'm seeing rapper with today with some shade stuff on the air rapper. But he doesn't want to show the mohawk. Well, he's gonna jack the indigenous hairstyle. But he's not a mohawk.
Never mind, Romans.
Right.
Romans have the headwear that looks like a mohawk,
Right,
yo.
that's like a mohawk.
Even the haircut.
Yeah.
That's what he's talking about.
Right? And that's indigenous stuff. Mohawk is our stuff. These bands, you're looking at, so Eric and Rocket, right at the top. If you were the guy behind the mic, you have to have a DJ next to you. Period. If you're on your album cover by yourself, like you're not hip hop. You're just a rapper that just got some check and you're just up there just sucking and driving. Like you have nothing to do with the foundation of this. Right? At the bottom, EPMD. One man sitting on a Camaro, one man sitting on a Benz. They were rambling about their Camaro and their Benz. And their rims and their Benz and their leather interior and all that type of stuff. That's not what they have in their music. Right? EPMD. Go on YouTube that stuff. Hear what those guys are talking about. Look at the jewelry that this man is wearing. They were rapping about their jewelry. And my chain and my gold teeth and all this type of stuff. Like when you go back and listen, like this like Rockland would be talking about like the black man is God and that type of stuff.
And
In his songs. And he's wearing some big chains.
yeah, because the gold's theirs.
Right?
Gold
And
is ours.
looking dapper. Right? Or what they would say back then, looking fresh.